in less than 4 months, the United States has passed 100,000 deaths in the coronavirus outbreak. That's more fatalities than any other country, while its 1.69 million confirmed infections account for about 30% of all cases worldwide. This also means that around as many Americans have died from COVID-19 as from the Korea, Vietnam, Iraq and Afghanistan wars combined. But with nearly 39 million Americans out of work during the pandemic, the United States is pressing ahead state by state with reopening the coronavirus-frozen economy, even as the death toll continues to move upwards. All 50 states have begun to ease COVID-19 rules in some form. Now joining us to talk about the situation in the United States is the VOA's White House Bureau Chief, Steve Ehrman. Steve, thanks for joining us on The World today.
My pleasure.
This, of course, is a tragic milestone for the United States. What's the mood like in the country at the moment?
Well, it's quite a somber time. A lot of people realize in stark terms now what is the toll of this infection, and it's continuing to increase, although there is a realization, especially in large metropolitan areas like New York City, that the new case rates, the death rates are slowing down, but we are seeing cases rising in other rural areas of the country, such as West Virginia, North Dakota, North Carolina, and where I'm speaking to you from in Northern Virginia, this Washington, D.C. metro area is really one of the hot spots in the country right now for the coronavirus.
Well, over in Spain, the country is on a 10-day mourning period to commemorate those who have lost their lives in the pandemic, and they have a much fewer death toll than the United States. Does the government acknowledge the death toll, and are there any plans to honor the dead?
Well, flags were ordered lowered by the president for 3 days. The president has been tweeting about the 100,000 deaths today. He also said he's going to extend the time that the National Guard will operate until August to help out. We're expecting to hear from the White House press secretary in about 90 minutes, and she will certainly be asked about this. But the focus by the Trump administration in recent days has been much more on economic reopening rather than focusing on the casualties.
But what has been the political response to this, especially with the presidential elections fast approaching?
Well, you've had the presumptive Democratic Party nominee, former Vice President Joe Biden, mainly relegated to his basement for the past couple of months, although he did get out on Memorial Day on Monday wearing a mask. The president seemed to make light of that a little bit. And the president himself has been recently frequently traveling, not only to go play golf over the past weekend at one of his courses in Virginia, but traveling on Air Force One to events that have focused on making ventilators and the economic recovery, but also have to some degree resembled campaign rallies on a much smaller scale. And we know the president has said he's itching to get back on the campaign trail and hold those rallies. So his focus is quite forward-looking in that regard, and trying to get the media distracted from just focusing all day long on the casualties.
All right, then, VOA's White House Bureau Chief, Steve Ehrman, thank you so much for joining us on The World today.
Happy to do it.